Hello, I'm Peter Bergman. This is my official YouTube channel. I'll be updating you with the latest news, so please subscribe to my channel.
Welcome back to the channel, squad. Today is a beautifully chaotic day in the Y&R universe, and we are diving headfirst into the madness. Grab your snacks and buckle up, because the drama is absolutely unhinged today. My jaw is literally on the floor right now. Besties, we need to hold a literal intervention right now for Nicholas Christian Newman, because I am losing my absolute mind watching this man spiral into the deepest, darkest pit of delusion I have ever witnessed on daytime television. I am sitting here at 3 a.m. My eyes are entirely bloodshot from rewatching these latest scenes, and if I do not vent this right now, I am going to spontaneously combust. We are talking about pure, unadulterated denial. The kind of denial that makes you want to reach through the screen and shake a character until their teeth rattle. Nick is currently walking around Genoa City acting like his mother. The iconic Nikki Newman is just dealing with a minor inconvenience instead of a legitimately catastrophic, life-threatening illness. The fact that Nick absolutely refuses to believe that Nikki's condition is getting increasingly serious and that she might not have long to live is making my blood boil. Then we have to look at the absolute sheer audacity of what is actually triggering Nick's current meltdown. Victor Newman, in all his ruthless, mustache-twirling glory, has successfully regained control of Newman Enterprises and is honoring his promise to hand Chancellor over to Lily Winters. And what is Nick's reaction? Is he worried about his mother's failing health? No. Nick is literally complaining about Victor giving Chancellor to Lily because he thinks this corporate musical chairs game is going to hurt Nikki's feelings. I am screaming, Nick, your mother is severely ill, and you are worried about a CEO title? It is low-key the most baffling, out-of-touch reaction I have ever seen from this man. He is treating Nikki like she just needs to be shielded from boardroom drama, completely ignoring the massive neon-flashing signs that her health is rapidly deteriorating. It is like he thinks if he just protects her from Victor's business moves, her illness will magically disappear. Make it make sense. Yet, the more I think about it, the more I realize this is classic Nick Newman behavior, but dialed up to an absolutely toxic level. He has always had this massive savior complex when it comes to the women in his life, especially his mother. But this is entirely different. This isn't just him trying to be the white knight. This is psychological self-preservation. Nick simply cannot fathom a world without Nikki Newman in it. He refuses to accept that the matriarch of the Newman family, the woman who has survived everything from cults to alcoholism to literal murder attempts, could be taken down by an illness. So what does he do? He projects. He channels all of his subconscious terror and grief into anger at Victor over a completely irrelevant corporate handover. It is so much easier for Nick to be mad at the mustache for giving Lily a company than it is for him to look at his mother and accept that she is slipping away. It is tragic, but it is also driving me absolutely insane. Wait, story time. Remember back in the day when Nick would literally go scorched earth on anyone who even looked at his family wrong? He has always used anger as a shield. Whenever something emotionally devastating happens, Nick finds a tangible target to attack. Right now, Victor's business deal with Lily is that target. He is clinging to this Chancellor drama like a life raft, because if he lets it go, he has to swim in the ocean of his mother's grim prognosis. But wait, I'm literally yapping right now. Let's get back to the actual tea. Because the way this is playing out on screen is just a masterclass in frustrating television. Mainly, what is so utterly wild about this whole situation is the juxtaposition of Nick's delusion against the reality of Nikki's timeline. The streets are saying she does not have much time left. The whispers, the medical realities, the sheer gravity of her condition, it is all pointing to a devastating conclusion. And Nick is just out here strutting around the Newman Ranch, questioning Victor about what he's doing with Matt, and whining about Lily getting Chancellor. Hot take, but I am actually ascending into a state of pure rage over this. How can you look at your mother, see her fading, and still think that making sure Victor doesn't hurt her feelings with a business merger is the priority? It is a profound, staggering level of denial that is low-key making Nick look incredibly selfish. He is making her illness about his inability to cope. Is it just me, or did they completely fumble the bag on this one with Nick's character development? Because honestly, part of me feels like Nick should be the one holding Nikki's hand, having those deep, tear-jerking conversations about life and legacy. Instead, he is acting like a petulant child who thinks putting his fingers in his ears and humming loudly will stop the bad news from arriving. I mean, I get that grief does weird things to people, but this is pushing the boundaries of believability. Actually, maybe I am being too harsh. Maybe Nick is just so traumatized by the prospect of losing her that his brain has literally short-circuited and no. Wait, what am I saying? I am not defending this absolute clownery. Nick is a grown man, and he needs to step up, face reality, and be there for his mother instead of picking fights with Victor over Lily Winters. Totally, we have to talk about how this impacts the rest of the canvas. While Lily is out here popping champagne and celebrating her massive victory with Kane Ashby, and while Noah is generating insane online buzz for the grand reopening of the Shadow Room, Nick is trapped in this weird alternate reality. He is entirely disconnected from the actual stakes of his own family. Imagine being Nikki right now. You are facing the end of your life. Your illness is getting more serious by the day, and your son won't even acknowledge the reality of your mortality. He won't let you have a real conversation about it because he's too busy pretending everything is fine and focusing on Victor's corporate chess games. It is heartbreaking, no cap. It literally robs Nikki of the agency to process her own decline with her son. Then, let's talk about how this all bleeds into the rest of his interactions, specifically at Crimson Lights. We know that Noah is hyping up the grand reopening of his nightclub, the Shadow Room, and having conversations with Nick and Sharon. But imagine the undercurrent of those scenes. Noah is excited talking about online buzz while Nick is standing there projecting this false aura of normalcy. Nick is literally using Noah's club opening and his own grievances about Victor's treatment of Matt as a smokescreen. He is filling his brain with all this white noise, the Shadow Room, Matt's sincerity tests, Lily's corporate ascension, just to drown out the deafening silence of Nikki's fading heartbeat. And Sharon? Oh, Sharon has to see right through it. Sharon is currently busy acting as a lifeline for Phyllis, giving her that tough love after Daniel's brutal rejection, because Sharon understands the psychology of being an outcast and needing control. Sharon understands human behavior better than anyone in Genoa City right now. So you just know that Sharon looks at Nick and sees a man who is completely fracturing under the weight of a reality he refuses to acknowledge. She sees him obsessing over Victor handing Chancellor to Lily and knows it's a desperate cry for control in a situation where he has absolutely none. Nick cannot cure Nikki's illness, so he tries to control Victor's business decisions. It is textbook deflection, and it is so painfully obvious that I am literally screaming at my screen for Sharon to stop helping Phyllis for 5 seconds and go psychoanalyze her ex-husband before he completely loses his grip on reality. Then there is the Victor element of all this. Victor is currently holding Matt hostage, putting him through rigorous psychological tests, and handing over billion-dollar companies like it's nothing. Why? Because Victor also copes by controlling everything around him, but at least Victor is doing something. Nick's refusal to believe that Nikki's illness is terminal is a passive, destructive kind of denial. He is actively avoiding the truth. Every time Nick opens his mouth to complain about how the Chancellor deal will hurt Nikki, I literally want to throw my remote at the television. Nick, she is dying. She does not care about Chancellor right now. The sheer cognitive dissonance required for Nick to maintain this facade is staggering. If we really deep dive into the psychology here, Nick's disbelief isn't just about Nikki. It's about his own foundational security. Nikki and Victor are the immutable pillars of his universe. If Nikki's illness is truly terminal, if she really doesn't have long to live, then Nick's entire world shatters. He becomes an orphan in a metaphorical sense, losing the one parent who has consistently offered him unconditional emotional support compared to Victor's transactional love. So his brain has literally built a firewall against the truth. Mom isn't dying. Mom is just going to be sad about Lily getting chancellor. It is a pathetic, desperate lie he tells himself every single morning when he wakes up. And as a day one stan, watching him cling to this lie is both infuriating and profoundly sad. I am literally shaking just thinking about the inevitable fallout when the truth finally breaks through Nick's delusions. Because it will break through. You cannot outrun a terminal diagnosis. At some point, Nikki's physical reality is going to force Nick to look at her and see the truth. And when that happens, the emotional explosion is going to be biblical. He is going to realize that he wasted her final weeks or months complaining about Victor and Lily instead of cherishing his time with her. He is going to be consumed by regret. And honestly, I do not know if his character can survive that kind of guilt. The writers are setting him up for the most devastating crash landing in daytime soap history, and I am not ready for it. Mainly, I just need Nick to wake the heck up. I need someone, Sharon, Victoria, even Victor, to grab him by the shoulders, look him dead in the eyes, and force him to say the words out loud. My mother is severely ill, and she might not survive this. Until he admits that, he is useless to Nikki and useless to the storyline. This whole routine of pretending it is not that serious is a slap in the face to the gravity of what Nikki is going through. It is high-key disrespectful to her journey. We, as the audience, are being forced to watch a beloved character fade away while her son plays pretend, and it is the most agonizing, frustrating, pull-your-hair-out plotline of the year. Ultimately, besties, this is why I am spiraling. The sheer emotional weight of Nikki's illness combined with Nick's absolute, stubborn, infuriating denial is a cocktail of pure anxiety. I am oscillating between pure hype for the drama and total disbelief over how badly Nick is fumbling his final moments with his mother. He is literally fumbling the bag on being a supportive son. I low-key need to trauma dump this entire experience onto you guys because nobody else gets the vision. We are watching a slow-motion car crash, and Nick is sitting in the driver's seat with a blindfold on, complaining about the radio station. It is absolute madness. It is peak Y&R chaos, and I am going to need at least 3 business days to recover from this. Drop your thoughts in the comments, because if I don't talk to someone about Nick's delusions right now, I am genuinely going to lose my mind.
Thank you for watching my video. I will be updating regularly with the latest news, so please remember to subscribe to my channel to support me.